Welcome, dear viewers of the Eternal Stoicism channel. I wanted to share my thoughts on a subject that I believe affects many of us, the behavior of people who play victim, when in fact they are the abuser. This is usually people who struggle with authority, and especially from someone they consider lesser than themselves. This could be someone on a committee who challenges the leader or tries to undermine them, and in turn, a leader who believes everyone is their minion to be controlled and dictated to. In this segment, we're going to explore a subject that can be a bit delicate. Narcissism. Now, it's not about labeling or judging people, far from it. I want you to view it from the point of view, or beginning to understand there may be more than just one narcissistic person in your circle of friends and family that may shock you as you recognize certain traits. My intention is to help you foster understanding and empathy as together we navigate the intricate world of human behaviors and relationships. I'm hoping that you will no longer feel something is wrong with you, when in fact it's to learn that people displaying narcissistic behaviors often gaslight or ghost you as their way of playing havoc with your emotions. Some do it on purpose, others aren't even aware they are having that effect on you. Narcissism, often misunderstood, is a personality trait that can significantly impact one's interactions and relationships. Recognizing its signs is not about pointing fingers, but about empowering ourselves with knowledge to better understand and navigate complex dynamics that we might encounter in our daily lives. It's about implementing empathy for ourselves and others, and trying to create healthier interactions. You may even have a narcissistic family member, parent, sibling, child, cousin, aunt, uncle, etc. You need to be able to express what you will accept and what you won't, but in a positive way to maintain a healthy relationship. Now, without further ado, let's delve into the 10 signs that you might be dealing with a narcissist. I highly recommend that you stay until the very end, as you'll be shocked by number 10. Starting off, the first sign of a narcissist is an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Now, we all have moments of self-assuredness, but in a narcissist, this trait is amplified to a whole new level. They firmly believe that they are superior to others, even without commensurate achievements to back up these claims. Their world revolves around themselves, and they often overestimate their abilities and impact. They have a habit of exaggerating their achievements and talents, constantly seeking validation for their inflated self-image. They envision themselves as the indispensable hero, the unmatched intellect, or the irresistible charmer. This exaggerated self-importance is more than just confidence. It's a distorted self-perception that leads them to belittle others in order to maintain their self-declared pedestal. They often demean or dismiss the contributions and achievements of others, as acknowledging them would threaten their inflated self-image. So if someone consistently overestimates their abilities and belittles others, you might be dealing with a narcissist. The second sign of a narcissist is a constant need for praise. This trait is often steeped in a deep-seated desire for validation. Narcissists, you see, build their self-esteem on the admiration of others, a foundation as unstable as it is fleeting. This constant need for praise can strain relationships. Friends, family, and colleagues may feel emotionally drained, as if they're in a one-sided relationship where their primary role is to inflate the narcissist's ego. Moreover, the narcissist's need for praise often extends beyond personal relationships, infiltrating professional environments as well. They thrive on recognition, and their need for constant validation can create an atmosphere of tension and competition. It's not enough to be good at what they do. They must be seen as the best, the most indispensable. The desire for praise, while not inherently problematic, becomes concerning when it's insatiable, when it's more about filling a void than celebrating an accomplishment. Therefore, an insatiable need for praise might indicate that you're dealing with a narcissist. A lack of empathy is the third sign of a narcissist. This is a particularly telling trait, as empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, a characteristic fundamental to forming healthy, reciprocal relationships. Narcissists, however, often struggle with this. They may appear indifferent or dismissive towards the feelings, needs, and experiences of others, often focusing solely on their own needs and emotions. This lack of empathy is not always easy to spot, as narcissists can be skilled at feigning concern when it suits them. Yet over time, one might notice a consistent pattern of indifference, dismissiveness, or even outright disdain towards the emotions of others. This lack of genuine concern can create a significant imbalance in interpersonal relationships, leading to feelings of frustration, isolation, or neglect for those involved. So, a lack of empathy could point to narcissistic tendencies. How are you getting on so far with the information I'm providing? Does it make sense? Can you relate? And have you already identified someone close to you as a narcissist? So let's move on. A strong sense of entitlement is the fourth sign of a narcissist. This sign is particularly noticeable, as it often leads to unreasonable expectations and demands. It's as if the world owes them something, or everyone around them exists merely to serve their needs. This sense of entitlement stems from an inflated sense of self-importance. After all, if they consider themselves superior, they believe they deserve superior treatment. This entitlement can manifest in various ways, from expecting special treatment in social settings to demanding undue attention and admiration from others. They may also become impatient or angry when they don't receive the treatment they believe they deserve. They might make excessive demands on your time, your resources, or even your emotions. It's as if they've created a bubble around themselves where the rules of common courtesy and respect don't apply. This behavior can be exhausting and emotionally draining for those around them. Therefore, a strong sense of entitlement could be a sign of narcissism. Exploitative behavior is the fifth sign of a narcissist. Narcissists, you see, often use others as mere tools to achieve their own goals. They're like puppeteers, pulling the strings without a second thought for the feelings or well-being of their marionettes. They're not above manipulating situations and people, bending them to their will, all in pursuit of their desires. The impact of this behavior on those around them can be profound. It can erode trust, breed resentment, and even lead to emotional and psychological distress. It's like being caught in a storm, where the narcissist is the thunder, the lightning, and the driving rain, and you're left standing, weather-beaten and worn. And the worst part, narcissists often show no remorse for their actions. They view their exploitative behavior as a necessary means to an end. So if you notice a pattern of exploitative behavior, you might be dealing with a narcissist. Don't forget, watch until the very end, and number 10 may shock you. If you're liking the content so far, please do click like to enable me to reach many others. Now, the sixth sign of a narcissist is a strong sense of envy and resentment. This sign is less about them and more about how they perceive others. Narcissists often harbor feelings of envy and resentment towards those who they perceive as more successful or happier than themselves. This is because they're constantly comparing their own achievements to those of others. And when they find themselves lacking, they feel a deep sense of resentment. This envy isn't subtle either. You might notice that they seem unusually interested in your successes and might even try to belittle or undermine them. They have a hard time genuinely being happy for others, as every accomplishment someone else achieves feels like a personal slight against them. It's also common for narcissists to feel resentment towards those who have something they desire, whether it's a successful career, a loving family, or even just a positive outlook on life. They covet these things and resent those who have them. Thus, feelings of envy and resentment could indicate narcissistic tendencies. Arrogance and haughtiness is the seventh sign of a narcissist. This trait is easily recognizable and can significantly impact their interactions with others. Arrogance in this context refers to an inflated sense of self-worth, a belief that one is inherently superior to others. It's a display of disdainful pride, often accompanied by a dismissive attitude towards others. Haughtiness, on the other hand, is an exaggerated sense of self-importance, often expressed through a condescending demeanor. These individuals view themselves as superior beings, and they expect others to recognize and acknowledge their supposed superiority. This arrogance and haughtiness can create a gulf between the narcissist and those around them. It can lead to strained relationships, as the narcissist's inflated ego often leaves little room for mutual respect or understanding. However, it's important to remember that not everyone who displays arrogance or haughtiness is a narcissist. There could be other underlying issues at play, but when coupled with other signs we've discussed, therefore arrogance and haughtiness might be a sign of narcissism. The eighth sign of a narcissist is an inability to handle criticism. This trait is often deeply rooted in a fragile self-image. While narcissists may project an aura of superiority and confidence, underneath it all, they are often incredibly vulnerable to negative feedback. They view criticism, however constructive, as a direct attack on their self-worth, resulting in defensive or even aggressive reactions. This inability to handle criticism is not just limited to personal relationships. It extends to professional settings as well, making it difficult for them to accept feedback and grow. This can create a toxic environment, as they may deflect blame onto others to protect their ego. Narcissists may also overreact to criticism, seeing it as a personal vendetta rather than a chance for improvement. This can lead to unnecessary conflicts and strained relationships, as they are unable to see past their own perceived victimhood. So, an inability to handle criticism could indicate narcissistic tendencies. Fantasies of success and power is the 9th sign of a narcissist. A narcissist often indulges in grandiose dreams of unlimited success and power. These fantasies are not just occasional daydreams, but a persistent preoccupation that influences their perception of reality. They imagine themselves at the top of the world, influencing nations, or being lauded as the greatest in their field. While ambition and aspiration are certainly not negative traits, the narcissist's fantasies are typically unrealistic, exaggerated, and detached from their actual capabilities or achievements. It's not merely about the desire to succeed, but an inherent belief that they are destined for greatness regardless of their effort or talent. These fantasies also often involve a sense of entitlement to special treatment and admiration from others. They're not just dreaming of success, but of a world that revolves around them, where they are the undisputed king or queen of their imagined realm. Therefore, constant fantasies of success and power could be a sign of narcissism. The 10th sign of a narcissist is belittling others to appear superior. A narcissist's self-image is often overly inflated, and to maintain this, they may resort to belittling those around them. This is not merely a casual put-down or a playful jab. No, it's a consistent pattern of behavior, a means to an end. The end being the narcissist's need to feel superior, to validate their grandiose self-perception. They might diminish others' accomplishments, undermine their abilities, or dismiss their opinions. This behavior can be incredibly damaging, eroding the self-esteem of those on the receiving end. In relationships, it creates a power imbalance, with the narcissist always striving to be on top. The irony is, this behavior doesn't make them superior. It exposes their insecurity, their need for dominance, to mask their own feelings of inadequacy. True superiority doesn't require the diminishment of others. So if someone frequently belittles others to boost their own ego, they might be a narcissist. So there you have it, 10 signs of a narcissist. We started with the exaggerated self-importance, a clear indication of a narcissist's inflated sense of self. Then the need for constant praise, an insatiable hunger for admiration and validation. We also talked about the lack of empathy, a characteristic that makes it difficult for them to understand or share the feelings of others. We delved into the sense of entitlement, their belief that they are owed special treatment. And let's not forget the exploitative behavior, their tendency to use others to meet their own needs. We also discussed envy and resentment, their inability to be happy for others' success. We explored arrogance and haughtiness, their inflated ego that often leads to condescending behavior. We then looked at the inability to handle criticism and their fantasies of success and power. Lastly, we touched on how they belittle others to appear superior. We hope that this video has been insightful and helpful. If you enjoyed it and want to learn more, don't forget to subscribe to my Eternal Stoicism channel. Now leave a comment. Which step resonated with you most? Thank you for watching.
You believe, yeah, 'cause this is where I'm meant to be, I believe, and I feel the night.